It usually is bad cables.
Yeah.
And of green cables. Nah.
No,
I thought about it.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. No, I don't know about Anne of green cables.
Yeah, that's kind of a miss, honestly.
Dude, Fender has these new ombre cables where it's two colors that are like near each other in the color spectrum, and they like fade into each other across the cable's length. And I can't imagine who that is for other than like someone who's buying a cable for the first time ever and knows what the word ombre means, which I feel like that intersection is not very high.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what ombre we're talking about. My first thought was hombre, the Spanish word for
like hombre,
like hombre.
Yeah, like man.
Yeah. Like just
Bro.
for guy.
Yeah, sure.
But I don't think that's what Fender's talking about.
No, it's ombre with an O.
Ombre.
Although hombre cables would be very
Hombre
funny.
cables would be hilarious. Yeah.
That would be a Fender cable I'd buy the shit out of.
Dude cables.
Dude cables. Despite 90% of guitar players being male, which is a problem I should bring up. That is an issue.
If you're a woman listening to this podcast, pick up a guitar and see what happens.
Yeah. I wouldn't say 90%, like 60% of guitar
I feel like
players
it's getting better.
It definitely is getting better. I mean, but no. Alienating, like a Dr. Pepper 10, like cables that aren't for women.
Yeah.
Dude cables.
Yeah.
I'm into this idea. Let's roll with this. Yeah.
Dude cables.
Why would you buy Fender cables when Livewire, like buying a Livewire cable is like having an infinite cable because they have a lifetime warranty, so you can just bring them in and be like, I want a new one of these, and Guitar Center has to give you one.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Little loophole, everybody. Whatever loses
moment.
Guitar Center more money, you do not have to buy more than like 5 cables in your lifetime.
If you can find more ways to scam Guitar Center,
do it.
Then do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Corporate robbery is hilarious and endorsed by this podcast.
Oh, 1,000%. You should steal shit, especially from grocery stores. I feel like there's no...
Careful which grocery stores you're stealing from, because some of them are starting to crack down on it.
Who?
Target, for one. They have like private investigators.
Well, Target's...
I know, they're Target.
Target's
but also
gone woke.
Walmart...
stealing. That means that's what woke means.
That's what
go
woke
woke, go
means.
broke.
Yeah.
No stealing.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other reason why they went woke. But
I don't know either. But Walmart also.
Well, those are the two places where people like get caught stealing from. I never get caught stealing from Publix.
Yeah.
I steal from Publix every time I'm there.
Yeah.
And it'll be like one item amongst the other items I've purchased. And then if I get caught, you just be like, oh, I forgot to scan it.
Oopie.
Yeah.
Yeah, for legal reasons, this is not true and a joke.
No, I'm not joking at all.
Okay. All right, well, welcome back to This Ain't a Scene, It's a Podcast.
Oh, perfect transition. I love it.
My name is Dawson, he, him pronouns. I'm one of your hosts, and there's someone else in the room with me.
Hey. I'm Carson, also he, him pronouns. Welcome
back to the show.
To the Thunderdome.
And last episode was a little bit of a kerfuffle. If you listened to that one,
it was rough.
The audio was all fucked up, and I hope that's not the case with this one. So far, it's not. I feel like we salvaged it for the most part too. Yeah. People definitely, like, some people definitely listen to that one.
Some people definitely listen to that one. Have we looked at the stats?
That one and Super Fade kind of performed like the same.
Word.
Like
not
kinda,
great. Like, nobody knows what Super Fade is.
Like kind of mid performance, honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
But
for sure.
Still consistent, so that's good.
Still consistent. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Yeah.
Keep those reviews coming. I know that some of you don't listen to the podcast till the end, but keep those reviews coming because it really does help us out. Like, you have no idea like how much it does help us out. So
yeah. I don't even have an idea how much it helps us out. But
yeah, I mean, neither do I. That's what every podcast says.
Yeah, I feel
you have no idea how much that helps us out.
I think it's
and I truthfully have no idea how much that helps us out. So
I think it's like engagement or something.
It's got to be, and then also like if you're listening to podcasts similar to ours, such as Blink 155, although we are legally distinct from them. RIP, they're over too. They recorded their last episode.
Yeah.
If you're listening to podcasts similar to ours, we will pop up there. So
hopefully,
from what I understand, we've popped up as a suggestion for them, and then we've also popped up as a suggestion for Song versus Song, the Todd in the Shadows podcast, which is pretty sick. So thank you.
I love Todd in the Shadows.
I know. I do too.
That guy's awesome.
That guy rocks. Shout out Todd, future guest of the pod, I hope.
Imagine. That'd be so good.
We'll have him on for one of the pop songs since he loves pop music so much. I bet he'd do it. If I was like, hey, do you want to talk about centuries? Although I had Stephen Hyden in mind as a guest for that song, which would be funny.
We could always throw a Hail Mary and see what happens.
We could throw a Hail Mary for Todd. And I think we would probably get it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
make our podcast popular enough to have Todd in the Shadows on.
Yeah, exactly. Keep listening and reviewing so we can have Todd in the Shadows on an episode.
What about a bod in the shadows? And it's a hot guy who's silhouetted. What do you think of that?
That's actually the show that I'm making with me in front of the camera.
Shit. Oh, fuck. What about God in the Shadows? And it's Satan revealed to be our true savior.
Holy crap. Mandela catalog.
Fuck? What the fuck? You played a show last night.
I did.
Terrible segue.
Yeah.
God in the Shadows. So you played a show last night. Yeah. Tell me about your show.
I did play a show last night. It was honestly one of my favorite shows I've ever played.
For real?
Yeah.
Damn.
For those unaware.
I feel even worse for listening to that now.
So for those unaware, the most recent show I played as of this recording was last night, May 26th at Masquerade Purgatory. It was Bummer Hill with Bice, Equal Creatures, and Back to Earth.
Fuck yeah.
All three bands I love very dearly as like musicians and like for their music and all that. I've been trying to make a show happen with Bice for like a year now. Dope. And then it finally came together and it was awesome.
Nice.
Only bad part about they are fantastic.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Only bad thing about playing with Bice is that if you play after Bice, you have to play after Bice.
Yeah.
And like their set is just so super tight and like Insano style. But we had
to play after From Joy once. Oof.
Sorry.
Don't wish that on my worst enemy. Goddamn. What a good band.
Yeah, for real. It was also a costume competition and a lot of people showed up in costume, which was really cool because I didn't know how many were actually going to see that and be like, yeah, I'll show up in costume for this.
It's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. The winners of the costume competition, by the way, were two people. They had a little group costume. Kennedy and Evie, they were Blossom and Bubbles from Powerpuff Girls.
Oh.
And it was a lot of fun. But yeah, crowd was like really good. Honestly.
On fire.
Crowd was on fire the whole night.
Shorty was on squad mode.
Shorty was on squad mode. I think we had like at peak like 70 to 80 people in there.
Dope. In Purgatory too, which is sick.
In Purg for an all local show, and like that on its own would be really good sick, on like a normal night. But this was also a night that another local show was happening across the street, and Paramore was playing. So for us to get that many people, especially on a night like that, was insane.
Yeah, Thursday night. I'm stupid. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that is so sick. So sick.
It was so much fun. And
I'm going to a sold out John in Heaven tonight.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I'm going to Hell tomorrow. So, if I had gone last night, like a good friend would do, I've been really beating myself up about this.
You don't gotta beat yourself up about that. We just announced another show next month.
Am I home?
I don't know. Are you home on June 20th?
No.
Okay.
In Seattle.
Fucked up.
Playing in Seattle.
My
aunt's Seattle us for the first time.
My friend Babbitt is up there, and he'll probably go to that.
Fuck yeah.
So shout out Babic.
Seattle. I'd rather see some titties.
So true.
What's up, guys?
So true.
Anyway. Yeah. Okay, so it was dope.
It was
awesome. You dressed as the Wiggles.
We dressed as the Wiggles. That was our band's costume.
That is sick.
I was the purple one. Jack was.
Is that Steve? Is Steve the purple
I don't
one?
remember any
the only
names.
surviving member?
I haven't seen the Wiggles since I was like 5.
Okay.
So I don't really know their names.
I feel didn't they cover Tame Impala recently and get some
no fucking
press for
clue.
that? I'm gonna double verify that,
but yeah, I was purple, Jack was red, Rui was blue, and Chance was yellow.
That's awesome. That is so sick.
And a lot of people got a pretty good kick out of that one. We opened with fruit salad.
No fucking way, really?
We did.
That's so sick. Did people go nuts?
Yeah.
That's so fucking sick.
We went on stage and people were like yelling at us to play Wiggle songs, and someone was like, play fruit salad, and I was like, well.
Wait, did you plan that or no?
No, not at all.
Whoa.
Like we planned to go up and play fruit salad, but we didn't expect anyone was going to be like, yeah, what if you guys played a Wiggle song?
Oh, no, that's what I meant. Did you go up planning to play fruit salad?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
yeah.
dope. Okay.
Yeah, we opened.
What are the lyrics to fruit salad? What are all of them right now? Go.
Fruit salad, yummy, yummy. Fruit salad, yummy, yummy. Fruit salad, yummy, yummy.
First,
yummy fruit salad, and that's all I know. I didn't sing it, so
okay.
I didn't have to worry about that.
I thought it was first.
Well, that's
chop
the verse.
Up some grapes. I don't know.
Yeah, I was just singing the chorus.
Something bananas.
But we opened it by saying we're gonna play fruit salad, and then we did like a noise thing. And then straight into fruit salad.
That's sick.
And then straight into bad news.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
We usually close with, but we opened with it this time.
Opening with your biggest song is the most badass thing to do.
It's not going to be the biggest song for long.
No, it will not be.
Isn't It Strange is going to surpass it pretty soon.
I think really?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about like the new shit's going to blow it out of the water.
Oh, no.
It is, but...
It is. I hope so. But the fucking Isn't It Strange has been creeping up on it for a minute. I think last I checked, it was like only 60 streams behind. Let's fucking go. Yeah. Very encouraging. Oh, speaking of the new shit, we did play... so we played... The set list was Fruit Salad, Bad News, Isn't It Strange, Without Your Love, and then we did Lighter List by Microwave.
That's crazy.
Fucking killed, honestly. And then 3 new songs.
That's nuts.
And best part about that was the new songs got the loudest cheers from the audience, which
that's huge.
Very
that's
encouraging.
A big fucking deal.
Yeah. It's always a fear as a band when you start playing some new shit. It's like, oh, what if the audience doesn't fucking like it? But then like we played it was honestly a bold move to play Lighter List before our new shit. But then we did that and then opened with a song that nobody had ever heard before. Mm-hmm. And then the cheers for that song was even louder than Lighter List. And I was like, holy shit, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's nuts. That's just proof that the new songs rock ass.
Yeah.
And they do.
Very encouraging.
I've heard them.
Thank you.
So let's get into this song.
Okay.
A.
Yeah.
A.
B.
A. I had to pull up the Genius page just to get to figure out what the full title of this goddamn thing is.
Yeah.
And the full title is... I'll say it. That's fine.
Don't point at me.
I've got all this ringing in my ears and none of it on my fingers.
And here's a snippet of it. Wow, did you like that snippet? It's over now.
It's over now, yeah. Goddamn.
What a song.
Can we talk about this one? I know that's the show, but can we talk about it?
No, we can't, honestly.
All right. Time to spin the wheel.
Thanks for listening.
So the other night, I drove for your health to Cleveland, Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
And then came back. It was fun. It was fun. Famous Twitter canceled band For Your Health.
They do be tweeting.
They do be tweeting a lot of very fun things.
Yeah.
So I took them to Cleveland, Tennessee, dropped them off at their van, and then I drove back from Cleveland, Tennessee here pretty much immediately. Like, dropped them off, gave them hugs, said goodbye, and then drove from Cleveland, Tennessee to here. And we were supposed to record yesterday, but I woke up at 9 a.m. and I was like, "Hey, Dawson, I'm going back to sleep."
Yeah, I was in a similar spot because I woke up at like 8 a.m. and I was still in bed, and then you texted me, and I was like, "Bet," and I fell right back asleep.
Nice. Well, no, I actually texted you at like 4:30 because I was still up.
Oh yeah.
I texted
you
like
texted me before you
a.m.
went to bed, and I didn't see it until I woke up, and I was like, "All right, I get to sleep more."
Yeah, I listened to this song no less than 6 times on my drive back. The first 2 were like analyzation listens, and then I'd say the next 4 or 5 were like just enjoyment listens.
Yeah.
Which speaks to how much I like this one. Even though I do have some problems with it.
Yeah.
But I've been pretty familiar with this song for a good part of my life. And what was this, the second or third time you had heard this song?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
I'm getting better at listening to like the whole Fall Out Boy albums other than Foley at this point.
It's hard to do when Foley exists.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I had a moment with this album last year when I was landscaping where like the one thing that would make getting through the like first hard part of the day, because like, I'd wake up at like 5:30 a.m. to go to work, and then I'd get to work, and then I'd like, just fucking, do grueling work for, hours.
Awesome.
And the one thing that like would wake me up was just playing this album front to back and singing along with it while I blew leaves around, while I did nothing very well. But this album has a particular quality for me that reminds me of not only just when I first heard this record and was first, falling in love with this record, but last year when I was listening to it constantly. And that was probably the time where I was analyzing it the most, analyzing it as much as I do Foley.
Yeah.
And I do love this record. And I do think this is a great closer. And I would argue that this is the first time they intentionally wrote a closer.
Yeah.
Because the closer from Take This to Your Grave always escapes me.
Yeah.
And what's up, Dan? Okay. Hey. The closer from Take This to Your Grave always escapes my mind, but the closer on Cork Tree's XO, which is a great song, but XO is just like another banger to add to the banger roster on that album.
I don't know if there are any like closers on Cork Tree in general.
I don't think one exists. Maybe This Has Been Said. Maybe that song. But that's the only thing I could really think of off the top of my head. So this is the first intentional closer, I would say. It's pretty amazing. It's got the epic qualities to it. It's got nearly no guitar other than the chorus, which is probably the first time that they had done that too. And I don't know. I really like this song, and I really like the way it's produced and the way that it caps the album off. You talk now.
Okay. I also really like this song. I do have a couple issues with it, but overall it's really good. I remember the first time I listened to this album, I for some reason I thought that the second half like fell off really hard, but this was like the song that brought me back because I think the chorus is like insane.
Yeah, the chorus is crazy.
Like the way that like the progression of the chorus sounds so ominous and menacing. It's like,
yeah,
it's so cool. And the verses, it's kind of a contrast to the verses because the verses kind of sound triumphant.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I'm marching into the king's court.
Yeah, exactly.
To play him Steely Dan so he kills himself.
What's wrong with Steely Dan?
Oh, nothing. That's an old Tumblr post.
Oh, okay.
If you played Steely Dan for a medieval king, he'd kill himself.
If you played a lot of things for a medieval king, he'd probably kill himself.
That's true. Continue.
I think if you played Blind Equation for a king, he would like die on the spot, probably.
I think he'd ask the jester to recreate it.
Oh, so true. But I listened to this song a good few times on the way up here. I also listened to the album. It Took Everything because it's been on my mind since Back to Earth covered New Faces in the Dark last night.
Nice. Shout out Back to Earth.
Shout out Back to Earth. And it just kind of got better every listen.
Yeah.
I initially thought, like, I still think this, but I don't mind it as much. I think the verses and the chorus do feel a little disconnected. Like it's kind of weird. I don't really know how to describe it because I know the verses and the chorus of a song are typically supposed to be different.
Yeah, sure.
You know, if you want to have like an interesting song that people want to listen to. But something about this, they just feel like they came from two different songs. But as I listened to it more, I grew to not mind that because both of them are so independently good that putting them together like doesn't super matter. Because and also the lyrics tie them both together. It's just kind of in like sound, they sound disconnected, but they're both so good that I don't mind at this point.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. It feels like, and this is maybe a new term I'm coining. It feels like one part, but two different songs.
Yeah.
Where it's like it works, but if you played them out of context, I would be like, no, those are two different Fall Out Boy songs.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it reminds me a lot of like older music too. Like maybe when like Elton John and like Whitney Houston were taking like big swings like this, where like I don't know, there's like Elton John's like I'm Still Standing, where like the verses and the choruses are completely fucking different from the bridge. Like there's just a key change for the bridge, which is bonkers.
Kind of baller.
And I'm pretty sure that it's in a completely different key. Maybe the pre-chorus is what shifts this into the correct key, which I think is cool. Oh shit, I am getting an important phone call. 1 second.
Is your phone background Tom Lovejoy?
My phone background is Tom Lovejoy.
That's awesome.
Playing tug of war with a dog with his mouth, which is pretty gross, but very impressive. Yeah, I mean, it reminds me a lot of like older music, and it again, in that Zane Lowe interview that they did for So Much for Stardust, they talked about how they went to Babyface as a producer because they had heard the work he did on Josie and the Pussycats movie, the Josie and the Pussycats movie, and they were like, it sounded like rock music from like another universe, and that's why they went to him to do This Ain't a Scene, and I believe Thanks for the Memories, but someone's probably going to correct me on that. And similarly, this does feel like, it feels like nothing else. Like it maybe feels older, but it also just feels like nothing else.
Yeah.
And the one comparison I can give it is like Billy Joel or Elton John, who they later go to collaborate with.
Yeah.
Go on to collaborate with a few years later. So,
crazy how that happens.
Crazy how that happened. I love this song. I think it's dope. I think it's a great closer. Do you want to get into the problems that we have with it?
Yeah.
Or do you have more things to praise about it?
Yeah, the main problem really for me is just the chorus and the verses feeling disconnected. That's mostly it. I also think maybe it goes on a little too long.
Yeah,
like the audience applause at the end and the
now press
Stephen
repeat.
Hawking voice is like really corny. And I get it. It was like
at the time.
It was like fucking 2007. So like, yeah, but I mean, you know.
I will say at the time there was like not anyone that was doing like the tongue-in-cheek stuff that they've kind of always done.
Yeah.
Like if you really think about it, like none of their music videos were like terribly serious, and they were kind of the band that started that trend.
Them and Panic were both doing that.
I mean, and even Panic is a little over serious in the first, with the first record. I would say Panic doesn't really get like self-aware with their videos until a little bit later. But I could be wrong about that. I'm just thinking about like the A Fever You Can't Sweat Out videos and like how I can't think of one that is like not serious.
Build God and Then We'll Talk is about a mime who finds his invisible girlfriend cheating on him with an invisible person.
Yeah.
That's not very serious.
I mean, I guess not, but I mean, like when I think of that song, I think about like how dark it is and like
the song itself is like really dark.
Well, and
I'm just talking about the video.
You're right. I mean, that is pretty goofy.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that video in a very long time.
Yeah. And then
you're refreshing my memory.
The all these long ass song titles that they had on there. It's not There's a Good Reason. It's is it lying? I think it's Lying the Most Fun a Girl Can Have Without Taking Her Clothes Off.
Yeah, everybody's got like fish tanks on their head.
Everyone's got fish tanks.
I would still call that like kind of fake deep though, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like fake deep and tongue in cheek kind of go hand in hand with Panic at that era.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm saying like goofy, like not just tongue in cheek, like goofy. I would say that Fall Out Boy was kind of leading the charge with that, and
they were definitely a lot goofier.
And I think when they wanted to put it into the music itself, it came off more as this rather than like a cool way, like not in like a Mr. Bungle way, but in like a fucking like, all right, okay.
I think it worked on Our Lawyer on
with like the camera flashes and
stuff. The camera flashes because like it went hand in hand with the lyrical content, which the lyrical content is pretty, like, we've already talked about that song, so I think that one if you want to hear my thoughts on that one, go listen to that episode.
Just go back to it, baby.
I
think that I think that with this it's like goofy, like it makes me laugh, but I'm like, all right, like I'm rolling my eyes at the same time still.
It's like I gotta listen to this every time.
No, and also I just like I hit the back button before it got to that part, you know, because I just didn't want to hear it after the first two times. It's and like that's probably something that the Reddit would defend, a move like that.
Maybe.
Sorry, I was scratching my nipple and you looked at me real weird.
No.
You're like, bro.
No, I just didn't know what you were doing.
I had an itch.
I'm sorry.
Above my nipple, bro.
Listen, my eyeballs
chafe constantly.
My eyeballs do not chafe constantly.
Oh, I thought you said your nipples. I didn't hear my eyeballs. I will say that the first verse is so good in this song that whatever happens in the second verse kind of is like, eh. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going by what Genius says the second verse is. I think that's still the first verse, but the third verse, if we're talking about Genius, it feels lazy, and also it's so short. It's a 4-line, 8-bar verse.
The classic.
Which, like, if you can get away with doing that, awesome. Great. Mm-hmm. Good for you. But, you know, I'm used to amazing second verses from this band and amazing second verses on this album specifically. You know, just the ones that come to mind immediately. Like, Thanks for the Memories and This Ain't a Scene. Like, both have incredible second verses. So, this this bums me out a little bit.
Yeah.
But and then also the bridge is very lazy. The bridge is just the chorus, but
an octave down.
Yeah, an octave down, and and then he just kind of wails over the chord transition of the chorus until they get to the last chorus. That being said, it is such a big soaring chorus that it doesn't really matter.
It matters a little bit.
It matters a little bit,
but
yes.
not to the point where it's like song ruining or anything.
Sure. And I will say that when I listen to this song, I usually play the song before it into this. You're Crashing But You're No Wave into this song, because I think You're Crashing But You're No Wave, arguably the best song in this record, other than maybe Afterlife of the Party. And into this song, it's perfect. It's like a perfect 1-2 punch. And sometimes if I listen to that song, I'm like, well, I've got all this ringing is immediately after it, so why not? You know?
Yeah. Might as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's such a good one. In terms of album closers,
where would you rank this in album closers?
You're gonna hate me for this because I kind of like just came up with this take, and I might have to think about it for a little bit longer to decide if I truthfully think this.
If you're about to put it above West Coast Smoker, I'm gonna.
It's not above West Coast Smoker,
okay,
but
right.
So Much for Stardust is above West Coast Smoker.
What the fuck?
That song's amazing.
I know, but
and I will say this:
it's West Coast goddamn Smoker.
I know what it is. West Coast goddamn Smoker has a point knocked against it for being what it is, which is an album closer that's not supposed to be an album closer. It's perfect for what it is. And I would say as a whole experience, obviously Foley is a better listening experience than both of the records that are on either side of this, of this conversation we're having. It's a better record. It's a better listening experience than Infinity. It's a better listening experience than So Much for Stardust. I do think that So Much for Stardust is just a better song than both of those songs.
That's crazy.
But I will also say this: So Much for Stardust is almost, and we even kind of brought this up when we were talking about the Phoenix, about how Love from the Other Side is a better version of the Phoenix. So Much for Stardust is a better version of this song.
I could kind of see that. I think my only sort of disagreement with that is that the So Much for Stardust chorus is not nearly as menacing. I don't think I would describe any part of that song as menacing, and that's the draw to this song. For
disagree.
me.
I think the verses on So Much for Stardust are menacing.
I'm talking sound wise.
Sure.
Rather than lyrical.
Yeah.
Sound wise, it's not a very imposing song. It feels very soaring and triumphant. Whereas this song is uncomfortable in the chorus, despite how big the chorus is.
This podcast has made me take off nostalgia goggles as much as I have not wanted to. If you had asked me this a couple months ago, I feel like I would have probably ranked this number one, even higher than West Coast Smoker. And I think what they were trying to do on this song was just improved by So Much for Stardust. The song, not the record.
Yeah.
We should clarify.
What do you feel like they were trying to do that they accomplished better on that closer?
Write a big soaring hook that's not exactly a single, but is a quintessential rock album closer. Which they do it on Save Rock and Roll, but it's so goddamn cheesy that it's there's almost a little winking at the camera with that. And I'd say there's a little winking at the camera with this one too. Not just for the Stephen Hawking voice at the end. R.I.P. Stephen Hawking. I feel like we need to say that for some reason. I don't know.
Do we?
Cheated on his wife.
Yeah. I mean,
fuck that guy.
I saw a movie where Eddie Redmayne played him, and it was pretty good, I think.
I didn't see that. Eddie Redmayne annoys me as a guy.
Really?
Future guest of the pod.
Future guest of the pod. Hey, Eddie Redmayne, why are you so annoying to me personally?
Hello, I'm here to talk about...
I think he's a good actor.
He's a good actor, but like him as a personality annoys me. Have you seen Jupiter Ascending?
I've seen
Patreon watch of Jupiter Ascending. We should make that happen. It's a terrible movie. It's a Wachowskis movie. It's a later Wachowskis movie.
Yeah.
And it's bad.
Shout out the Wachowskis.
Shout out the Wachowskis.
Future guests of the pod.
Yeah. I will create a Wachowskis rewatch series on the Patreon with you.
Okay.
Because I think that would be fun. Anyway, I've got all this ringing. There is a little bit of winking at the camera, whereas So Much for Stardust, there is none. There is like, this is like the themes of that song are like, what if this all ends? What if our entire career goes away? Where this feels like, look at us, we're on top of the world. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Now press repeat. That's what this is to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying.
But they, at the same time, they wanted it to be big and soaring, and it's just not. It's just not as good to me. I don't know. And I don't want to have my nostalgia goggles on and just say, the old pre-hiatus stuff was better, because it is. But at the same time, I do think that So Much for Stardust is just a better song. So, yeah, I mean, should we dive into some lyrics, or do you have more to say?
Other
than calling me insane for my take.
I get what you're saying now that you've explained it. I still wouldn't rank So Much for Stardust above West Coast Smoker, but that's just me.
I'm West Coast smoking dick for that take, huh?
For real. and West Coast Smoker, I hardly know her, first of all.
You had to get one in on
me. I had to get one. But I want to go back to that second verse you were talking about. On Genius, it's listed as the third verse, but I agree that it's the second verse.
Also, there's only one line in this Genius thing that doesn't have an annotation. And we'll get to that. But yeah, let's talk about the third verse.
So, that verse, I didn't think about it like that until you brought it up, but like lengthwise, it is a little unfortunate that it's that short, but like lyrically as well, it doesn't feel as like compelling as the first verse. It just
and also the annotation on this I feel is very silly.
Yeah, because
I don't think that they've got it right, this is the problem with Genius annotations, everybody. It works great for rap metaphors, where you're like,
like if you're like a suburban white guy and you don't know what they're talking about, like if they're using like certain slang, then Genius is usually good for that. Sometimes they go too far and then like just make it even more confusing when it probably wasn't that deep.
Yeah,
but for the most part, it works
great for like rap metaphors and stuff like that. But for stuff like this,
so the verse we're talking about goes, do you remember the way I held your hand under the lamppost and ran home this way so many times I could close my eyes? And the annotation, unreviewed by the way, says, he's saying that he's gone through this situation so many times with the girl he could literally do it in his sleep or blindfolded. And I don't know if that's correct.
Yeah, I don't know if that's how I read that so much as like there's this reminiscing of like a thing that happened, and like it replays more than like I've done this so many times that like I could do this in my sleep. It's more so like I have regrets about this thing, and it's just I go through it a bunch. And like I just think about it all the time. Or
even just like that, it could be just a I have sex line where it's like
it could be an I have sex line,
where it's like, girl,
there are many of those.
Do you remember you remember when like I took your hand and we went home, and like we've done that so many times that like I could do it closing my eyes. It's like, we fucked so many times,
which is
like,
an epic own maybe. I fucked you so many times I could do it in my sleep.
Fuck. Oh my god! It just reminded me of that fucking Sam Hunt song, "Body Like a Back Road," which is that's concept, awesome. But a song.
That's so sick.
Literally, the chorus goes, "Body like a back road, could drive it with my eyes closed." And doesn't that mean that you're having really boring sex if you're just on autopilot during it?
Baby, every time I'm just thinking about the first time.
Baby, every time we fuck, I'm thinking about a dirt road.
Every time we fuck, I'm thinking about this piano part. I'm thinking about Stephen Hawking.
I'm thinking about getting in my truck and driving somewhere else.
Yeah,
away from you.
I want to go to the line that is not annotated at all, which is how Genius has it listed as verse 2. And I'm so sorry, but not really. Tell the boys where to find my body. New York eyes, Chicago thighs, pushed up the window to kiss you off. Which I want to bring up,
annotated part of that is
where
New York eyes,
where
Chicago
you're
thighs.
supposed. What? Oh, sorry, you talk.
Yeah. Oh, you're fine. The not annotated part of that is New York eyes, Chicago thighs. Everything else has an annotation.
Yeah, and I gotta read the annotation that is somehow reviewed. But he apologizes profusely, but it's all an act. He really doesn't mean it. An alternate understanding of this line could see sorry as an adjective he uses to describe himself sarcastically. FOB is known for their self-deprecating manner, but it's really hard to keep up the facade of a sad sack when you're cranking out a chart-topping albums as a successful rock band, touring all over the world, getting cameos from the likes of Jay-Z, all around being pretty gosh darn awesome. And the line, tell the boys where to find my body. Sort of a spinoff of the take one for the team lyric. What? Meaning he's contemplating self-sacrifice. He's telling them to tell the police where his body should be found. But in my mind, where his body should be found is somewhere in the middle of New York eyes or Chicago thighs. Am I wrong?
I don't know. I don't. Okay, this because these first lines, I think, all coincide with each other, and I tell the boys where to find my body. I guess is just. I don't know if it's a take one for the team thing more than it is like I know where I'm going isn't great.
Sure, yeah.
Which isn't taking one for the team because the team doesn't all have to go there. Mm-hmm. You're not all dating this person at the same time.
Sure.
I mean, maybe you are. This could be like Fall Out Boy revealing their polycule, but
maybe it could be.
That's what
you know what? I'm going to say it's not, though. I'm going to say it's probably not the team revealing their polycule.
I feel like that's probably a safe assumption.
Yeah, and also, it's very clearly I could interpret it as maybe their eyes are looking at socialites in the likes of New York City. You know what I mean? But in actuality, they're between some Chicago thighs, baby. You know?
I actually misheard this lyric.
Oh, really?
I heard it as "Knew your eyes should call your thighs." And I was like, that's weird. What's he talking about?
Is this the only mention of Chicago on this record?
Maybe. I don't know.
It's got to be, I think.
Chicago thighs. What are Chicago thighs? What does that mean? Is it because Chicago looks like a thigh? No, Illinois.
Illinois looks like a thigh. I'm thinking it's just they're from Chicago and they're like, why would I get with these New York ladies when I can get some Chicago thighs?
Meaning in New York, but there's pussy in Chicago.
Ooh, there's a light on in Chicago. Yeah. All of these lyrics are so good. Yeah. And the chorus I feel could be interpreted in many ways of the truth hurts worse than anything I could bring myself to do to you.
Which just a fucking insane line.
Crazy line, yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah. And I think that's why it's the only line in the chorus. Truthfully, I think that it works. I think that it's a bar. You know,
they wrote that and they were like, "Yeah, we can't expand on that any more than it needs to."
Yeah, it doesn't need to be expanded upon. It's exactly what's on the mind. You know.
Yeah, and I don't know how much I agree with the annotation here, which just says, "Much better and romantic way of saying it's not me, it's you, or you just wouldn't understand." I don't know about that. I feel like it's definitely like it's more
the truth about the way that I feel is so much worse than any action I could do to you.
Like,
you know,
it's definitely a really interesting lyric.
It works well, especially for this song and this cadence.
Yeah. The truth hurts worse than anything I could bring myself to do to you. It's also like, if he was going to do something, it wasn't going to be like pleasurable for him. He wasn't going to have a good time doing it.
Yeah.
So like, and it's not even certain what truth we're talking about.
Yeah,
here.
Sure.
Damn, this is such a good fucking lyric. Like,
it's a good lyric. It's a bar. And I think that's what keeps me coming back to this song is like all the lyrics are so good. Despite, you know, it being like there's, I mean, what, 5 of them? Like there's like this song has.
You get a lot of chorus in this song.
You get a lot of chorus. You get your damn money's worth if you're paying for choruses, you know?
If you're paying for choruses, I think you're getting scammed.
And and this kind of marks one of the last times that Patrick lets enunciation go by the wayside. I will say there's some lines on Foley that are hard to interpret, but the truth hurts worse is like nearly imperceptible if you don't know what that lyric is, you know?
Yeah. I thought he was saying, and it gets worse.
Yeah. Which none of those words are in there except for worse.
Yeah. Which is crazy. But I mean, the reality is way better.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think that this kind of marks one of the last times that he is just like, I don't really give a shit. This sounds cool. Yeah. Because we know post hiatus, it's Annunciation City, baby.
Oh boy, he is much closer to Theater Kid than anything before this.
Yeah, which I you know, my whole life that the entire time I've been into this band and into Panic, people have been telling me that Patrick sounds like Brendon, right?
Mm-hmm. Which I've not really ever seen.
I've never really seen it. I will say this is one of the few songs I could maybe hear Brendon singing. But not really. But I will say the post hiatus stuff, it's like, I kind of get it. You know, since it's more Theater Kid.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Should we go to Reddit?
Let's see.
We should talk about this. This song's never been played live.
Oh yeah, that is true and fucked up.
And I don't think it does ever. I'll just be real with you.
Yeah. I don't see like because there's so much not guitar on this song.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know why they would.
Yeah.
It's not like an acoustic version or a piano version of a different song where like the other members just get to take a break. It's like it's still involved, but you would probably have to hire more people, and usually Fall Out Boy keeps it pretty tight on stage as far as I'm aware.
Yeah. And you know, they have a lot of songs that came after this that people want to hear to play and stuff like that. The only way I see this getting pulled out, and we talked about this, I forget which episode it was, but the only way I see this getting pulled out is if they do an album playthrough.
Oh, I think you brought that up last week for the Hot to the Touch. Like I think you were saying like if the only reason they'd play Hot to the Touch.
Well, that was the only time they had played that song was that they did an album playthrough. But that's kind of the only way I could see this getting pulled out. Because truthfully, like for the amount of fandom that this record has it being their, I think, 4th most popular of their releases on Spotify. If not 3rd, I'm not quite sure.
Probably 3rd.
And this record also has the most hit singles.
Mm-hmm.
This Ain't a Scene, I'm Like a Lawyer, Thanks for the Memories, and there's one other that I'm forgetting. Thriller, maybe?
Bang the Doldrums. Let's go, team.
But I mean, just as far as how big those songs were, I mean, those all of those songs were enormous. So, Takeover Breaks Over, maybe? I don't know. Takeover Breaks Over, I feel like got a little bit of play, but anyway, it doesn't matter.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, I wasn't there. Carpal Tunnel did not perform very well until after the record came out, but I mean, I still hear that on rock radio occasionally. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've heard it at least in the last 10 years. But so I mean, as big as this album was, I think if they pulled this out, Fluoride Stairs, straight up.
Probably.
Straight up. Unless it was an album playthrough and like everyone had time to prepare to listen to this song. Fluoride Stairs, 1000%. Hum Hallelujah was another hit from this record. Hum Hallelujah was pretty big. So
I don't even know what I would do during this song. It might look like I was giving a fluoride stare, but I would just be listening.
You'd be like, oh shit.
Yeah. I'd be like, damn, yo, they're doing
Whereas
it.
the song before this, You're Crashing But You're No Wave, I feel like if they pulled out a deep cut, I could foresee that being pulled out.
Yeah.
And I think they do play it in live in Phoenix, but I could be wrong about that. I'm going to verify that before the episode ends because I don't want to be wrong.
Okay.
So let's go to Reddit.
Well, before we go to the Reddit, let's go to our Twitter.
Ooh.
At the Dreaded Wheel.
This is the second time in the sequence you surprised me this way. Let's do it.
Pranked you. So we only really got one comment directly relating to the last episode, and it's actually relating to this episode. But at Josh Winters, the I in Winters is replaced with a Y. Says
or that's just his name.
Yeah, it probably is, but like that's just how you spell it.
Yeah, for sure.
2 takes for your next episode on the Infinity Closer. 1, I think some of the ideas in that song weren't fleshed out and it should have ultimately been an interlude. And 2, I do like that song and chorus, but I don't think the chorus fits the song. The second one we kind of agree on. First one, I don't that is bold. I don't know.
What was the take? I'm sorry, I spaced
The take
out.
was I think some of the ideas in that song weren't fleshed out and it should have ultimately been an interlude.
Hot to the Touch?
This song.
Oh, this song.
This one.
Come on, man. What's your deal?
I don't really see that.
You should have an eye just for that. No why for you.
Yeah, I don't really see that because I mean, this is just my personal opinion, but it's the chorus itself, like say that taking this to an interlude would split up the verse and the chorus. So say the chorus was used for the interlude and then the verse was put somewhere else, or vice versa. One, the chorus would have to have a similarly, like it would have to resemble this song somewhat. So I feel like the verses would kind of wind out the same anyway. But if the chorus was just used as an interlude, it would feel very strange because it's so big.
Yeah, I agree.
Are not typically that large. In fact, they're usually very small. If you've ever heard an interlude, what the fuck am I talking about? Hello?
You've got it. You're fine.
But yeah, it's a shame that this is only on Twitter and I can't really
reply and call this person an idiot.
I can't really see. I can't really get more of where you're coming from, I guess. But it is an interesting take.
It's an interesting take for sure. I actually think it should be 4 different songs. I think it should be the first verse should be one song, the first chorus should be another, the second verse should be a third song, and then the second chorus to the end should be a separate 4th song.
What a nightmare sequence that would be.
Yeah, that would suck. No, it wouldn't even be in sequence. It would just be later in the record.
Oh, okay.
Like the Me Without You Spider songs on Brother Sister.
What a nightmare record that would be.
It would be terrible. What are you talking about? No, that is not how this should work at all. It's a closing track. I think it makes sense for it. I still don't think it's like I still don't think it's like a perfect song, but I don't think it is interlude status.
Yeah.
And I will also say that this record already has one perfect interlude on it. Golden is basically an interlude, and it works great into Thanks for the Memories. But yeah, I don't. Well, shut up.
Don't shut up.
Stop it.
Keep replying to the Twitter.
What was his second take?
The second take was that they do like the song and chorus, but I don't think the chorus fits the song, which we talked about.
Okay. Well, what else we got from Twitter?
You put out a tweet that was.
I did do this. Yeah,
it performed pretty good. Best Fall Out Boy song by the band Fall Out Boy, and you put
we were engagement farming.
Yeah, you put the Shipped Gold Standard, which I could see the argument for.
Yeah,
and we got a lot of responses on that. Honestly, I think the most controversial was at Fabian in Real. Saying Lake Effect Kid was the best one, which that song is pretty good.
That song's pretty good, but I don't know about best.
Best ever.
You're crazy. You're smoking crack, but that's cool.
Bold choice, and I'm proud of you. But yeah, a lot of our listeners have really good taste, honestly. At baby_snoozy said head first slide, and I fully endorse that statement.
Future guest of the pod, Baby Snoozy. Ex-boyfriend, Baby Snoozy. Yeah.
Ex-boyfriend, Baby Snoozy.
Head First Slide's a great pick. I hope we got some followers out of that, God damn it.
I don't know.
That's awesome.
Good question. Yeah, I have no clue.
Anything else from Twitter?
That seems to be it this week, but
awesome.
if you want to tweet at us, and
at the Dreaded Wheel,
read
baby.
It. At the Dreaded Wheel. Now we go to Reddit.
So the first Reddit post I want to bring up is from 3 years ago. It's from user because I like to upvote.
Awesome.
Which I assume is their reason for joining Reddit. So their post is titled "Now Press Repeat." I got the vinyl edition of Infinity on High. This has 2 bonus tracks, Gymnaspis and It's Hard to Say I Do When I Don't. The robot voice says, "Now press the repeat" at the end of the regular album. Last track is "I've Got All This Ringing in My Ears and None on My Fingers." And at the end of the last bonus track, "It's Hard to Say I Do When I Don't." So "Now Press Repeat" appears twice on the vinyl edition, which is hilarious.
That's awesome.
I'm curious if that was the case in CD versions with 1 or 2 bonus tracks. It seems silly to say "Now Press Repeat" twice. It seems silly to say it at all on vinyl, but oh well. On versions with Gymnaspis as the bonus track, was it said there too? Thanks.
I don't remember. I don't think that was the case.
I don't think that was the case either.
We can verify.
When we get to the It's Hard to Say I Do episode, we will, because I don't really like that song and I don't really want to listen to it. So, but I
know it's not at the end of Gymnaspis.
I know it's not at the end of Gymnaspis, no. But yeah, so somebody does verify that on the CD version it was said twice, which is pretty funny.
Hilarious. Why would they do that?
Because they're funny guys. I like it. I think it's silly. And in the age of streaming, it is very silly because the only version of this album that exists is the deluxe edition. So
Not true.
When I listen to this, it's like "Now Press Repeat" and then Gymnaspis starts.
The normal version is present on Apple Music, at least.
Yeah, but that's Apple Music taking the iTunes catalog and shipping it over. So Apple Music almost always has original and deluxe, whereas Spotify just has the one, I think, because they wanted to merge the streams. I'm positive.
Let's find out.
Maybe not of every record, but I mean, I believe since streams on Apple Music are not public and streams on Spotify are. They just merged everything.
Is my mic fucking shedding on me? Hello?
That's awesome. The limited edition of From Under the Cork Tree is on there with bonus tracks, but that was technically released later. So, and that has like a bunch of remixes and like extra tracks and stuff like that. Yeah. Anyway.
Wow. Yeah. Nope, you're right. Default version of Infinity on High is the only one.
Yeah. So, which I believe because streams,
deluxe version. My fault.
Yeah. Deluxe version is the only one. I believe is because they didn't want that to be accounted as two different songs. Like they wanted all of the This Ain't a Scene streams to be combined.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, I don't fucking know. I don't know shit about fuck guys.
That seems logical.
That seems logical to me too. And I do think it's very funny that Now Press the Repeat is on both things. And Dawson, I have good news for you.
What's the news?
We have another ranking. We have another I tried to rank every Fall Out Boy song from user C Photograph 2585. C Photograph C-Photograph 2585. And their IP address is no. So
send in your IP address to us.
So this is from 2 years ago, so pre the release of So Much for Stardust. And they have this. We love these folks, so thank you for making them on the Reddit. We really appreciate it. This is ranked 55 out of 94. So there's some tracks that they're missing. Obviously, since we started with over 130 songs on the wheel, there's a couple tracks they're missing here.
Just a few.
But that's okay. This is 55. Some songs that I don't agree with being over it. Bob Dylan sitting at 50. Shut your mouth.
What's number one?
Their number one is The Phoenix. Their number two is What a Catch. Their number three is Gymnaspis. Their number four is Carpal Tunnel. And their number five is You're Crashing But You're No Wave. There's some misses in there.
So
for
conflicted.
Sure. But they got some heat in there too, in their top five. Also above this song, Just One Yesterday and Missing You, Bishop's Knife Trick. I would say most of Mania and most of American Beauty, American Psycho, they have ranked higher, which is rough. Some ones I do agree with being higher, Tiffany Blues. As we've seen, Tiffany Blues has been ranked pretty low on the other list that we've looked at. Yeah. They have Tiffany Blues at 34, still below 4th of July from American Beauty, American Psycho, which damn, what is wrong with you? The Afterlife of the Party they have ranked higher than this, but they have that lower than, again, 4th of July and some other terrible songs. Directly in between this, they have this song ranked higher than Dance Dance, which makes no sense to me. Dance Dance is like one of the best rock songs ever written, I think. Music or the Misery is higher than this one by 1, which interesting take because that's a great song, and I don't even know if you are crazy familiar with that song, but
nope.
Music or Misery is a B-side from not Infinity, Cork Tree, and it's great. But it's not higher than this song. This song's higher than XO. This song is higher than Bang the Doldrums. This song is higher than The Ship Gold Standard. And this song is higher than most of Take This to Your Grave, which
not shocking.
It's just ridiculous. But I want to highlight their bottom 3, which I think is very funny. Their bottom 3 is Uma Thurman at 92, American Beauty, American Psycho at 93, and Sunshine Riptide in dead last.
Let's fucking go. Holy shit.
You rock for that. You rock for that.
Honestly, all is forgiven.
And I think if we go to some of the other rankings, we could bring it up. But I do want to bring up a post called Songs They've Never Played Live. What's up, guys? So I've noticed, this is from 5 years ago. It's from user Captain Deadpool 66.
Awesome.
Songs they've never played live. What's up, guys? So I've noticed people have been asking if the boys have played a song live or not. So I had a ton of spare time and made a list of every song that they haven't played yet. I hope this helps. Take This to Your Grave. None. They've played every song from that album. From Under the Cork Tree, I've got A Dark Alley and a Bad Idea. 7 Minutes in Heaven. Champagne for My Real Friends. Get Busy Living or Get Busy Dying. Which I can't believe they haven't played that live, honestly.
That's kind of crazy.
Infinity on High, Bang the Doldrums, W.
Let's go.
Fame, Infamy, You're Crashing But You're No Wave. So I guess I was wrong about that they have played it live. I've Got All This Ringing in My Ears and None on My Fingers. Folie à Deux, which they spelled wrong. They made it Fol à Deux.
Nice.
The Ship Gold Standard, 27, Whams, and West Coast Smoker.
That's what the fuck, dude.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe they haven't played Shipped. Say Rock and Roll, The Mighty Fall, and Rat-a-Tat, thank God. American Beauty, American Psycho, Favorite Record, Twin Skeletons, Mania, Church, Heaven's Gate, Sunshine, Riptide, Bishop's Knife Trick. There's nothing on this list that I'm like, I have to hear this other than the Foley songs.
Yeah.
The 4 on Infinity on High, Bang the Doldrums, definitely don't have to hear that song live.
Yeah.
Fame, Infamy, This song that we're talking about this week, it'd be cool.
Would be cool.
You're Crashing But You're No Wave. I can't believe that hasn't been played live. That song's amazing. I don't. What's up with that?
It's not like they wouldn't have an excuse to back then, like, because when this album came out, they were probably only playing songs from Take This to Your Grave, Cork Tree, and Infinity.
Yeah, that's correct.
So
those were the ones that were I will bring up, there are like straight up like, even back then, there's at least, even back then when they were on the Infinity album cycle, I will bring up, there was at least, like, I'd say 4 songs that they absolutely had to play from the 2 previous albums. And, but that still doesn't mean they couldn't have pulled off like a full playthrough of this album.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised they didn't. This album was enormous. This album was fucking everywhere. I know you weren't really there for it, but like, this album got so much play, and this album was like so everywhere that I could only probably name you like 1 or 2 of my friends that didn't have this. Everyone just had it on CD. It was just something that everyone had, or in their iTunes library. My dad had this, and I don't think he could tell you what this album's called. I think he could name you songs from it, but I don't think he could tell you what it's called. Okay, so on Michael Scott 1993's ranking, who we talked about last week, we're going to bring up that he has this song as his number 1 song.
Oh, wow.
And his top 5, honestly, pretty fire. I've Got All This Ringing, Disloyal Order of Water Buffaloes, Thriller, The Carpal Tunnel of Love, and I've Got a Dark Alley.
Honestly,
kind of fire.
Kind of.
Michael Scott 1993. You've got to come on the pod.
You've done it again.
You've done it again with this banger. Pretty impressive that you made this your number 1. I'm pretty psyched on that. Let me scroll through my other posts to find Lugia 18's ranking. We talked about this on the the Super Fade episode, I believe. That was when Lugia 18's ranking first appeared. And Lugia 18 is part of the canon now, I will say, along with Michael Scott 1993 and Captain Deadpool now. They have this ranked at number 60 out of 94. So they were ranking out of the same pool that Captain Deadpool was ranking out of. They've got this at 60. Below some pretty rough stuff. Below Rat-a-Tat. Below City in a Garden. Below Death Valley. Ooh. Which is really rough. I'd say below most of Save Rock and Roll. Although there are some Save Rock and Roll songs that are below this. It is higher than Sugar, which is crazy. I don't know. It's a little wild, but it's higher than My Songs Know What You Did in the Dark, which I think we need to bring up is Lugia 18's 92.
Oh boy.
Yeah, very, very low on arguably their most popular song.
Yeah. Kind of based.
Yeah. 60 feels measured, but too low for this, I'd say.
Yeah.
This is another one where it doesn't make my top 25, but it makes my top 30 for sure, you know, or my top 40, something like that. Yeah. Which I believe, I think we should bring up now. I think the last episode of this podcast should be our rankings. Like just us ranking every song and having the official canon.
Yeah,
you know?
Probably. That seems like a good idea.
I need to make a spreadsheet of like everything and what we've ranked everything.
Yeah.
And then like there's like the actual ranking of, you know, what we've numerically given everything. And then there's the, you know, us actually like going through and being like, oh, I actually like this 7 more than this 7. You know what I mean? Am I making sense right now?
Yeah.
I had a nitro cold brew before this.
Okay.
All right. Song meanings?
Yeah, we can look at song meanings.
Okay, cool.
There's probably some shit on there.
It's okay if you don't want to. We can always just rank and spin the wheel and get out of here, you know?
Oh, it's fine. What is this fucking song called?
I've got all this ringing in my ears.
I've got all this ringing in my ears.
While you're doing that, I should bring up our friends in Cliff Diver had a particularly horrifying accident happen to them on the road. And I'm not going to go into detail, but some really crazy stuff. And if you can find it in your bank account to donate to them, find it in your heart or your bank account to donate to them, whatever you can. I'm sure they would really, really appreciate it because it is a horrifying incident that is like a 1 in a billion chance of happening.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
They're great people, great band. I highly suggest going to donate to them. So
yeah, if you can spare it, it'd be great because healthcare in America is fucked up.
Yes,
and
it
costs too much.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm on song meanings now. Yeah, it seems like there's some confusion about what Patrick is saying in the lyrics as well. It looks like the original posting on song meanings back in 2007 was "The truth is worse" rather than "The truth hurts worse."
Yeah.
As user Timmy_7 on January 24th, 2007 points out, "The truth hurts worse" is the line throughout the chorus, not "the truth is." And they also go on to say, "I love the bit at the end. Now press repeat. I want to know who thought of that." Probably the band.
Probably Fall Out Boy. I'd have to say it's probably Fall Out Boy.
Jasser 5000 on May 12th, 2010 says, "New York eyes, Chicago thighs, pushed up to the window to kiss you off. To me, this is about sneaking out with someone and opening your bedroom window, though, to give them a goodbye kiss." What do we think of that?
I don't totally disagree with that. They're escaping from your window, which is always funny, I will say.
Yeah.
You ever escape out of your window, out of your house to go do something?
No.
I did, to go see Kanye West and Jay-Z.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
My parents still don't know about that.
Yeah, I was always on the second floor.
Oh, no. I was also on the second floor.
Yeah.
I was crazy.
Yeah, I was afraid that I would like break something if I jumped off of my window.
Like break something in your body?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that. Who cares?
I did, apparently.
Yeah.
I cared about not breaking shit in my body. Let's see. Another on January 24th, 2007 from Wendy Clear-Atticus. It seems another relic of the original lyrics. Excuse me. I do believe it's "'cause sorrow is just all the rage," not "Casaro is all the rage," spelled Cassarao. And let's do a quick Google. What the hell is that?
What is Casaro? Other than something awesome, I hope.
The first result that comes up is Casaro Designer Fabrics. So, good catch. Good catch, Wendy Clear. I think you're right about.
I think you're right about that one. That is so fucking funny.
Yeah, that just Was there like a lyric packet for the CD? Or
there had to be, yeah.
Yeah. How did this happen?
I had a lyric booklet for this one, yeah, for sure. Because there were like cute little. Every page was one page of lyrics, which bands had money to do that back then.
Yeah.
Paper was free. There were more trees on the earth, technically.
Do you want to hear an unverified claim that could be real? Of
course I do. Is it that this song is about World War II?
No, it is not.
All right.
So Schroeds on January 24th, 2007. There's a lot of activity on that day. Says, "Oh, stupid me. This song used to be called Truth Hurts Worse. It makes sense that it would be the chorus." I don't know if...
Is that like a working title or...
I don't know. But
I know it wasn't called that when the album came out.
Yeah. I love spreading unverified information.
Information on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fake news, baby.
I propagate unverifiable facts for fun.
I'm going to clip that out. That's going to be the theme song. Can you hit it real nice for me?
I propagate unverifiable facts for fun.
Let's go.
All right, team.
We might upgrade to a soundboard on this show. It's me hitting that.
All right, let's rank this. I would have to propagate a lot of unverifiable facts in order for that to be warranted.
Oh, yeah. Bless you. Dan sneezed.
Everyone say bless you, Dan.
Everyone say bless you, Dan, right now to their car.
In the comments.
To our Twitter. Indica comments.
No.
It's called Indica Strain because I be into comments.
That's so stupid. Dan just
shut up, Dan. Shut up. That was so loud. I definitely peaked.
Absolutely.
All right, let's rank this thing and spin the wheel and get out of here.
I'm between a strong 7 and a light 8. Personally.
Okay.
I need to decide which one though.
Cool. I'll go ahead then.
Okay.
I would say if it was less repetitive and there was more of a second verse, and you didn't get so much chorus in this song, it would be an 8. But all of that drops it down to a very, very strong 7 for me.
I agree.
Dope.
Awesome.
Strong 7 for you as well?
Yep.
Cool. I need it for the spreadsheet. That's
all right. Strong 7.
So you spun last week.
I did.
And
we got this song.
Which I will say heater.
Hardly know her.
I haven't spun in a little while.
All right.
So we don't know if I have like a cursed touch or if I have a magic touch of some sort.
Let's find out.
Here we go. I'm spinning the wheel right now.
Okay. Carson has pressed the spin button.
I've pressed the spin button.
The wheel is spinning.
The world's not waiting. I forget what this is, so let's find out.
I do too.
The world's not. Oh, buddy.
What?
It's an evening out with your girlfriend song. All right, everybody.
Oh my God.
It was fun while it lasted.
All right.
I'm sorry.
We're back to Hater Week next week.
Hater Week next week, everybody. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for listening if you got this far. And even if you didn't, you can't hear me, but thank you for listening. Go follow Carson and I's bands at Callous Cowboys on Twitter, at Bummerhill ATL on Twitter, at the Callous Cowboys on Instagram, at Bummerhill on Instagram. Follow the podcast Twitter at The Dreaded Wheel. Give us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Leave a review if you feel so inclined. And have a good day.
Bye.